Hey everyone, I'm coming from my backyard here. I have my little camera mounted to my vest. Gonna do a quick walk around of my backyard. Kind of give a view of what's going on. It's obviously it's not in the best of condition, but just to give you an overall view of the layout of what's what we're working with here. You see my little doggies wanting to be part of the experience. Hey Cody, there he is over there hiding. What you doing, Cody? You gonna lay down there? Okay. Well, anyway, this is a quick tour of my backyard. So, lady wants to be so playful. We have our little hot tub over here. Well, first of all, start off with this. Yeah, it's a big mess. A lot of cleanup needs to be done. The wind has been pretty fierce back here for a little while. So we have a lot of little sitting areas and double bench and a couple single chairs cushioned up. And then over here is our fire table. So it's got 6 chairs to sit around it. It's covered up, of course. And this is our hot tub. The wind has blown a few things down and gotten a little carpet out of place there. But Layla, come on, let me walk. And then we have our one of the outdoor dining tables here. Sitting here with the backdrop of the pool. You can see the dual palm trees there. And then back yonder is and I'll take you over that way in a bit, but that's the back side of the property. But before that, we have more sitting areas, the Arknock chairs, I can't remember how it's pronounced, along with a couple other tables and chairs. 4 lounge chairs back there, and we have 3 sets of day beds. They're all covered up right now because it's still coming out of the fall season here. Hopefully we get, well, it's spring now, I guess. I don't know what the season is right now. Today's March 20th, so whatever season it is. I'm from LA. We only have 1 season, and that's just good. Anyway, so we have 3 of these day beds. Yeah, there's one back yonder to the left, one in the middle there, and one to the right. And you see my little bike there in the foreground. Yeah, I'm kind of showing this because we just got good news. Well, it's not all the way good news. It's progress, let's call it that. I moved in this property with a lot of intention of doing a lot of innovative improvements. And it's been more than 5 years. Been trying to get things in place, and there's a lot of factors that made that delay, and with COVID being one of them, and before that it was the big wildfires and the exorbitant increase in the wood and building materials. So all that was kind of delayed things a bit. And then after COVID, finally moved out here officially for myself. And anyway, before I go on to that story, this is our pool table. Right now it's got a little cover over it and protecting it from the elements, as well as the well, the wind and the rain are the elements, but anyway. And then this is another one. This is supposed to be covered up, but it looks like the wind's blown the ping pong table cover off. But we have a ping pong table back here. It's give people little things to do. We have a lot of little, all kind of games and stuff. I'm heavy into entertaining, and so this is a view from this perspective here. You see going back. Hey doggies, wagging your tails. Little wants to play. So anyway, I'll finish the tour and then I'll finish my little speech about my our intentions and what the planned improvements are. Here's one improvement. The only thing that we've actually done, for the most part, since I've been here, is added this little shed. It's an outdoor 10 by 12 foot, or is it 8 by 12 foot, something like that, shed that we put in to have an outdoor bathroom. So, and it's a big mess in there, but nonetheless, it's got a full functional shower, bathroom, got shelves and things like that to allow people to be completely isolated from going inside the house and doing what they need to do while they're having fun during the pool time and whatever outdoor things we're gonna do here. So we have during the warm, quote unquote, summer days in Las Vegas, we had a pool available to kind of entertain people. And that's of course a little dirty too because of the wind. Like I said, kind of got all the debris and stuff like that in the pool right now. But walk around here. Here's another closer view of the little, oh boy. This, we need to do some little cleanup work. Our dogs have been out here doing what they do, claiming their territory with their droppings. I hate to say it, but that's what the reality is. Back here along this fence, we were planting some, we had planted some palm trees, but they just did not take. Over the summer, it was just extraordinarily warm. Now let me change that. Extraordinarily hot. So it got up to 120 degrees several days throughout the summer, and we couldn't get those palm trees to take life and stay lit, stay in life, or whatever you know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, so that didn't happen. Layla, you trying to knock me down, baby? All right. My dogs are excited. I'm coming over here towards the gate that leads to the backside of the property. So yeah, I guess I'll just give you a quick overview of what's going on in the property itself, and then we'll talk about the improvements that we're planning on implementing. But anyway, this is the back side of the property. Get up here and open the gate. The dogs are excited because they don't get to go back here very often at all. You guys gonna be good? Okay. Layla, come on. Slow down. You knocked the gate closed. Move. Move. Just move back. Move back. Move back. There. So. This right here is the back side of the property. Layla, go on down. And we have a shed back here. I have a lot of things stored back in the shed. But kind of give you an overview of what's going on. I'm not going to go down here and walk the whole backside, but I'll give you another vantage point when I get to the other side in the pool area here. But yeah, let's do that. I'll keep this gate open for the doggies so they can get back up. They love going back there because we do have wild rabbits that have migrated throughout the property And they like chasing those rabbits. Dogs will be dogs. So they're back there on their little hunt. I gotta squeeze by this a little bit. So walk by these day beds. Yeah. So just try to have a positive mindset on what we're trying to do here. But right now it is definitely not up to snuff. So I can raise the camera a little bit. Take it off here. Take it off the mount. Hold it in my hand. Instead of this vest mount. And flip it backwards again. So, yeah. Anyway, this kind of gives you a bit of an overview of the back side of the property. This is that same shed. We have all this back here. It's pretty open. It used to be a foundation. Well, there's a foundation still there, but it used to be a house structure back there before we bought the property. Don't know the history behind it or why it was taken down. But anyway, our intentions are to take this area pretty much where the foundation stuff is all the way to this shed that's near me. There's another dilapidated shed back there. We do have some things in there too, but that'll be going away. But our intentions is to put up a play court that will be a tennis court, basketball court, volleyball court, pickleball court combination that you can switch over. We're going to have that in the back area right here, and that's going to be the very last of all the stages that we do as far as the potential projects. So yeah, that'll be project level 4, let's call it that, and I'll kind of go over all the other different projects as we do a little walkthrough. The dogs way yonder up there by the far shed, and give you another overview of the pool side of the property. So this is where the dogs have their little run. Pretty much over there when they're outside. We have that little fence to keep them from all over the pool area when we want to just have them isolated there. And then you can see the vantage point of the pool and the other structures. The little gazebo with the hot tub in it. We had the trees trimmed up last year, but didn't trim that particular tree. That's the mulberry tree. We didn't trim that one up this year. Letting it grow out a little bit. We'll trim it up next year. Kind of do it. They say every year, but I'm just going to go every other year. This is a pomegranate tree that we actually had trimmed up about a month ago. Really just trimmed it down. It's probably about 1/3 of the size of what it was, and probably 1/3 of the width that it was, and 1/3 of the height. It was about 25 feet high. Now it's still just barely 10 feet high. Not even quite 10 feet high. But we trimmed it up because it was just too wild and woolly, and the birds were coming in masses, and we never were able to get a pomegranate off of it because the birds would get to them before they would ripen up. And so my intention is to trim it down, and I'm going to put some 2x4 posts, similar to what's over right there, and then put a netting around it to try to keep the birds from eating all the fruit before they ripen. And then that other tree over there is another mulberry tree. You can see it a little bit yonder. And we had that trimmed up the same time we had the pomegranate tree trimmed up. So now let's look at the structure of this old house built in 1967. So that makes it what, 58 years old? Woo-wee! Yep, 58 years old house. Anyway, it's got wood siding and along 3 of the sides of the property, and we haven't done anything to it because our intention is to do a lot of build out more towards the front, and we want the new building to match the existing building, so we want to do the finishing of both of them at the same time instead of doing one now and then get the other structures in place and then doing it. So we want to just do it all at one time. So that's why we've held off. We do have solar. I don't know if you can see it up there, but we have solar panels on the property. We actually have in this shed right here, directly in front of the pool, just to the left of the pool, is the pool equipment as well as a well. So we're on well water. We have supply our own water, and we also have in the back part of the property right here, it's part of it is a leach field because we have septic tanks that allow us to have our sewage. We have to handle our own sewage with the septic tanks. We actually have 2 septic tanks on this property, which is a real good thing based on what we're trying to accomplish. So yeah, that's kind of an overview of the walk around. I can kind of talk a little bit while we walk back towards the primary house here. The improvements that we have in mind, and I'll probably include somewhat of the schematics of the multiple phases. Yeah, we got a lot of weeds and trash that got to clear up. So just kind of have an open mind of how clean and clear how it will be when it's cleaned up and cleared out. But yeah, so the existing structures, the wood siding is pretty much dilapidated. We want to change that to some type of a long-lasting stucco type structure. A lot of people that's not from the West Coast don't know much about stucco, but that's what we do a lot out here. It's not good for wet environments, but it's great for areas where it tends to be a bit dry. But all this is wood siding that needs some love. The front of the house itself is stucco based. Only that front facade. The other 3 sides of the house are this wood siding. So let's take a quick look at the front. These are the air conditioning units. I have 2 barbecues. One's under this cover here, and then that's an older one, but it's still functional. They're both charcoal based. I love my charcoal. The flavoring comes out of that. So this is our gate that goes from the pool area to the front yard. And you can kind of get an overall view of the front yard of the property. This is the gate that, not gate, but fence that separates the front of the property from the pool area. You see the gazebo over here. And that's the neighbor's fence that separates the house from the neighbor's fence. Got a little RV there. It's actually my cousin's. It's just kind of holding up residence here. This is an RV garage, and it's loaded up with all kind of stuff that I'll talk about. Got a couple of swings in the front, but this whole very sparsely landscaped area is that way for a specific reason. It hasn't been addressed because we're planning on doing our build out. That's going to take up a good part of the front of the property. And let's kind of pan over here. So that's the front gate, the front fence, and we have two gates, one over on the side right here, and then this is the gate that has the driveway, the current driveway. And then we have a retaining wall that separates our property from our other neighbor to the north. And this is the front of the property, which is stucco based, and very, very old, simple design. When we first bought it, one person that I know asked me, why did I buy or asked me if I bought a mobile home or at a mobile park, because it looks like one of those temporary homes from a park, but this is a fully foundationed permanent structure. It's not mobile, but it needs a lot of TLC. So anyway, this is another vantage point of the driveway leading up to the property, and that telephone pole right there is a marker that I'll talk about in a second. But this right here leads to, after the driveway comes up this area, and there's a truck, my old 1978 Camaro Z28 that's going to be restored, and that's one of my SUVs. I have another one. My daughter borrowed it temporarily while her car is being repaired for a couple days. And there's a gate back there that leads also to the back side of the property. We're talking about putting those playground courts. And you can see that this side of maybe I should pan over a little bit more. This is also wood siding. So again, three sides of the property is wood siding. You can see the windows there. Those are the 4 windows of the 4 bedrooms in the existing house. So the existing house is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, inside, 3,000 square foot structure. And we added that outdoor bathroom, so it's a total of 4 bathrooms now, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. And what we're planning on doing, and I'll show you, like I said, I'll insert the plans, but the first phase is going to be adding a garage slash hobby room. And well, the way that's going to work is, this is actually the front door, believe it or not. People think that's just a window, but it's our front door for right now. But we're going to be coming just to the right of this front door, having a roofing extension from the existing house coming out. I think it's about 6 or 8 feet. I can't remember. I think it's 6 feet out, and then it's going to be attached to a new structure that's going to be, the first part of it will be the hobby room. I think it's 25 by 30 feet, and then the balance of it is going to be a 4-car garage, which I believe is going to be 35 by 30 feet. So that, but there'll be one structure going along this corridor right here, going towards the front. And then just adjacent to that, exactly where I'm standing right now, and I'll have to kind of turn around and give you more perspective of where things are going to go. And again, I'll have a schematic drawing that shows what this thing will be. So the garage and hobby room structure will start just about where this window, the window that's in the center of this view here is. So that'll be the beginning of that's kind of where the roofing will come attached to the hobby room in the garage, and it'll be what's called a breezeway between the existing house and the garage, but it'll be considered attached because that roof goes to the garage roofing or side structure and etc. But adjacent to that, so basically just to the left of the center windows, we're gonna have it's gonna be like a hallway corridor that's going to be walking straight out towards where I'm standing, and leads, well, just to the left of that, to the left of the actual front door, will be a wall that would lead into an add-on room that we're going to have that will include basically a little gym, workout area, and then it'll go down to a little hallway, and we'll talk about what that's going to lead to. But in front of that, we're going to have all the way to, we pass this tree, the equivalent of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment unit, auxiliary apartment unit. So we're going to be adding that on, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment unit in the front part of the house. And that will be, again, attached to the garage, and it'll be a little hallway area that you walk down the corridor between the garage / hobby room and the apartment that leads to this front door right here. And again, you'll see more of it as we go through the diagram. And so it'll be an extension of the roofing from the left side of that entry door that goes to the add-on room that goes to the attached 3-bedroom apartment. And so that's going to go just about 10 feet or so in front of this existing tree. So that's what that'll be. And that's actually phase 2. So the first phase is going to be the hobby room garage. That's considered phase 1. Second is the second structure, which would be phase 2. And that would be the little small expansion off of the existing house and the 3-bedroom apartment unit. And then right here at the start of that telephone pole, over, it'll be a 30 foot width, or 30 feet, well, it'll be 10 feet away from the retaining wall, and then 30 feet from that will be the structure that will be going from that telephone pole all the way to just about where the mulberry tree that's been trimmed up goes. And that's supposed to be the phase 3 part of our project, which would be a 4-lane bowling alley that will be designed primarily as a training center, but obviously we're going to have a lot of fun there and have all the big amenities that you would have at a nice little fun bowling alley on your private property. So that's the intentions for the 3 phases. And then the 4th phase, as I mentioned before, was going to be putting that playground areas in the back. So that kind of gives you an overview of what we're trying to do. And again, we haven't done anything as far as improving the outside structure, because we want to make all that synonymous when we as we start doing our building. And the reason we're talking about all that is that we finally, after 5+ years, have a set of plans that have been submitted to Clark County that have gone forward to the point of being reviewed. We paid for the permits, and they're being reviewed for their content to get a stamp for us to start actually doing the real work. So this was 5 years in the making to get to this point. Long story is, one of our initial designs was submitted and found out that it was in violation with a lot of the local zoning restrictions. I won't go through the details of those, but nonetheless we had to redo the whole design. And so long story short is it took us quite a while to get to this point. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video right now, and we'll insert certain things as to kind of highlight what's the plans are in more detail, and you can get a better understanding of that. Take care. See you later. Here I have inserted preliminary site plans of the 3 projects. If you notice, in the right-hand side center is the existing house and an outline, and then forward of that is the hobby room garage structure, and in the center of that is the 3-bedroom auxiliary apartment complex, which is project 2. And then on the top side, you can see the layout for the 4-lane bowling training center. In this drawing, you can see the front elevation depicting the 3-bedroom accessory apartment complex. And just to the left of that is the outline front facade of the bowling structure, and to the right of that is the outline of the garage hobby rooms.